This episode of The Republic is brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and to receive a free audiobook, just head on over to audible.com/gamebreaker.
Gamebreaker TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Republic, episode 160 for October 24th, 2013. I'm Gary Ganny, watching Gamebreaker TV. Coming up on today's show, 2.5 class changes for pretty much across the board. An overview of what could have been with space and BioWare being BioWare again. Dropping some really big, crazy shit in the past 24 hours. All I'm over first. Larry Everett, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Excellent, excellent. And joining us...
It's Friday.
It is Friday.
It's,
you know Richie
Friday,
Procopio?
actually.
You
It
know
is
Richie
Horny
Procopio?
Friday.
It is what?
What's
Horny Friday.
Yeah. It's a
what?
thing we do in our guild, actually.
What does that mean?
It means, it's Horny Friday.
Porny Friday?
Horny Friday.
Wow.
That means
Can I
anything
join
goes.
your guild? Can we merge your guild with the Gamebreaker Nation, please? Because your guild sounds like a lot of fun. Larry was apparently being fitted for slave Leia costumes. I don't know how much fun that is, but all right, whatever.
It was a lot of fun for everybody else.
Somebody liked it.
Somebody. Not sure who, but somebody. Gamebreaker Nation. What is it? It is GameBreakerNation.com. It is our cross gaming guild. There is a Star Wars guild. There is a World of Warcraft guild. There is a Rift guild. There is a Guild Wars 2 guild. There is a League of Legends clan. Everything. If you want to join the fastest growing online community of gamers, get your ass over to GameBreakerNation.com. Fill out the application. Sign up. We've just started to kind of soft launch the Gamebreaker Nation. We've been working on it for a while. There's already like 300 of you in, and I've barely even started talking about it. So it's going to be the spot. You'll never need a guild again. So if you want to try different games, just jump into another group with another group of players and play. Sign up, fill out the application. There's already all kinds of events going on. We're planning tons of events. If any of you guys out there, just to give you an idea, I know this is a Star Wars show. Don't hit me with your saber. But like tomorrow on Saturday, we've got a World of Warcraft Leopard Gnome run planned for 6 PDT. Then we've got like Final Fantasy casual raid nights, WoW raid nights, LOL, Smite, you name it. Just scratching the surface. Yes, there will be Star Wars events as well. So that is the idea. We have event coordinators in place. We have guild officers in place running all these individual guilds to make sure that you guys have an awesome freaking time. I don't know if we'll have Porny Fridays, but I think maybe we should implement that as a rule. It sounds good. Maybe that could become a thing. I don't know. I got to find out after the show off air what actually it entails. Maybe for the adults. So what's gone on? This show's a day late. We had to reschedule due to some stuff. And within the past 24 hours, some craziness has happened. What's all gone on in the past day?
Sad. It's very sad.
Yeah. Originally, season 1 for Arena PvP, ranked PvP was supposed to start on October 9th, which is Tuesday, right? And
October 29th, not October
29th. Sorry, I said 9th. 29th. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen. Eric Musko said, simply put, we could not begin season 1 with such a nasty bug in place. Because of that, we are delaying its launch until we get it resolved. The new target date is November 12th. Apparently, there was a bug that that the calculations were off for gaining rank for ranked matches, which
would inflate your rating, and apparently make it so that when they say
that it would be
that
impossible.
Started late would be impossible for them to catch up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not so great for people looking forward to the event, but thank God they found the bug. I mean, that would have sucked big. You know, I say delay and fix rather than launch and be lame. Guild Wars 2 is kind of having this trouble right now. They launched their PvP season like all kinds of bumps in the road, and it's just like it's put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths for the PvP season, and I think a lot of players are even going to maybe look back at season 1 in that game and sort of be like, doesn't even matter. It's like a beta test of PvP season 1.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that I mean it really sucks, and this is unfortunately getting to be a common occurrence in TOR. But again, I think the loss that they get, the loss of the people that don't want to do it because it's delayed would be a lot less than the loss they would get if they released it budget.
True that.
So, fix it. Yeah. So
y'all are gonna have to wait just a little bit longer for PvP season 1. All right, so moving on. We've got a sneak peek at the 2.5 class changes. So Eric Busco confirmed on the forums that these are all the currently planned changes for 2.5, which I guess may or may not mean that there'll be some more unplanned changes in the patch notes. I would assume it's still a working thing. I don't know. How far away is 2.5 at this point? Do we know?
It is going to launch December 3rd.
Okay.
Yep, it's coming along with the space expansion. As
They're
going to
call it Galactic Starfighter subscriber pre-release or early access.
Yeah.
Galactic Space Garage.
Galactic
and all right, so we're not getting the Range Season 1 that's going to be late, but guess what? 2.5, the McCabe Arena is going to be going into the game. So, yay!
Oh, all right, so you get some more.
There you go.
What do you think about a statement there, too? Do you think with that amount of time, you think they'll actually have more to do? Or they'll have the time to do more? Sounds like they've got something in the works. They're sort of teetering on going, this may be done, it may not be done. Let's leave the window open.
Got a month.
Yeah, they got a month, but, to be honest, I mean, it depends on where Galactic Starfighter sits right now, I would think. How far along is that implemented? Is everything working the way they intended to? How much actual testing needs to happen between now and then for Galactic Starfighter? That's really, I think, what it's going to depend upon. And I'd rather them release something a little bit smaller that works really well than to try to push it and release too much.
So the madness and balance trees can use Devour and Psychic Absorption to make their dots uncleansable. This came straight out of the class Q&As, right?
It did, and
Yes.
and I know that a lot of I know PvPers that like the madness specs in both the assassin and the sorcerer, as well as and I'm blanking out what the Republic side is, but yeah, on the Shadow and Sage as well, but I forget the spec off the top of my head, but
Madness.
balance. That's what it is. Balance tree. Sorry about that. Yeah, this will actually make them a little more viable in PvP situations, because right now, because they are completely dot spec, that means every single thing that they do can be cleansed. So really in PvP, you get hit with somebody throws crushing darkness or whatever on you, you can immediately cleanse it. At least most classes can cleanse it, and adding this thing where it's uncleansable actually makes the spec a little more viable, at least in PvP scenarios.
Laura, what are you hearing from peeps out there? Are the other classes a little jelly or what?
I think it's going to be a good thing. I haven't heard anyone that said, "Oh, I'm super, super excited about this," but I also haven't heard people saying they're still terrible. Like, nobody's going to roll that. I know somebody in chat was saying they still don't think they're going to be viable for arenas, but I think if you're looking at 8 versus 8 play, it's a good thing. If you're reliant on dots to be able to do damage, it's kind of sucky that people have been able to just cleanse it off and you can't get anything done. So I think any change to kind of boost that, to make more specs viable for PvP, is always a good thing.
There's some new terminology that falls in line with these changes. Like, is anything actually changed? You've got cleanse, purge, that. Is anything actually changing?
Well, they're changing it so that what other classes can cleanse off of you, they're not going to be able to cleanse dots after this change goes in. But personal purges will still be available, and we'll take it off, but those are typically on a longer cooldown.
So
Dark
like evasion, right? Evasion for the agent classes. They'll be able to still cleanse with
evasion, dodge, force shroud, and resilience were the specific examples that they gave, and things that can cure right now, like cure, field aid, toxin scan, triage, restoration, and purge is being renamed to expunge. Those will now no longer be able to cleanse these protected dots off.
There's some tanks out here are going to not really like this one. So Dark Charge for the Assassin now increases armor rating by 15%, more than it does currently. Deals additional threat and no longer heals. So this is happening to the Shadow as well, of course. So long, self-healing tanks. What do people think of this one?
I think that healers are going to like this one more so than they did before, because what happened before is you had a lot of healing spikes that would happen, and so therefore it was really more difficult, especially when you get into higher end content in PvE, for healers to be able to predict when an assassin would lose a lot of health. And with mitigation, it's a little easier to predict that. I think and this is just my opinion. I really wish we had like Jedi Counselor on here. That'd be really awesome to talk to him about this. But I think that what you're going to see is just it's going to be a little more steady as far as the health drain, and it will be less burdensome on the healers.
Another ability was hitting the same way. Do you guys think that the 15% armor buff seems like enough?
That is going to, for me, that's going to be a wait and see. It could be enough. I think that at least in the main thing, and the reason why it was changed in the first place was because the assassin tanks in PvP scenarios were nearly unkillable, and so they reduced the armor that the assassin tanks received, and therefore they were a little easier to deliver damage to. But what that did is that really nerfed them in PvE. So this, with it being armor versus a healing, that means that your armor break, hopefully, that it means your armor break abilities will be able to burst through the armor, and so therefore they're still attackable at least, or damageable as much as they would have been before.
How do you guys feel? I mean, I guess I understand why developers, I get why they're doing this, but I don't know. Do you guys think that like classes just, they're getting farther and farther away from feeling different from each other?
Well, they said that they had to take away some of the self-healing. Otherwise, assassins would have just been leaps and bounds above the other tank choices. So I get where they're coming from that, but they did mention the fact that they would consider adding in an ability that would still be a self-heal, kind of a long oh shit button. That's not in the plans right now, but that's not to say that they won't put it in.
And then on the melee DPS side, it looks like Assassins and Shadows saw slight damage increases on a lot of abilities. Is that correct?
On a good number of abilities, at least their major abilities. And I think that this is supposed to make them more viable in given situations, and or at least that spec more viable in certain PvE and PvP situations. But I'm not really sure that that's really going to change. I think it's more for
PvE because they're still pretty bursty in PvP. But the problem was they were having issues with sustained damage in PvE. So if this is going to give them a little bit of a boost to make them something that you actually might want to bring on roll raid.
It still doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I don't believe it gets rid of the overall problem. Is that these abilities are still burst abilities, and they're also positional abilities as well. So it doesn't really fix the issue that they're running into in PvE, because you need that sustained damage in PvE, and adding, giving Maul, for instance, giving Maul a an increase in damage isn't going to. It's going to increase that ability, but you're still going to have to be able to get in the correct position. You're still going to. It's just it's not fixing the problem.
What do you guys think about this? Tell me if this. What do you guys think this was needed? So for the agent and the smuggler, overload shot, quick shot saw buff. Was that? Like
yes. Oh my god, yes, that needed. That was like the worst ability ever. It never gets used because it has an incredibly high energy cost and it does worthless damage. Absolutely worthless. I think I used it until I got enough abilities that I didn't have to use it anymore, and I took it off my bar, and I have never put it back on. So I am really, really happy that they are doing something about that because this talent needed it.
Here's an interesting nerf to operatives and scoundrels. They're losing all defensive bonuses from cover and can be charged or pulled out of it. So who knew? Cover for snipers and gunslingers, that's going to remain unchanged. A stealth class with healing and cover, I guess, needed a nerf. What was going on here?
Well, they said they never intended for operatives to ever go into cover again once they made the choice to be an operative. And I would say definitely healing operatives definitely don't need it because they are very, very survivable in PvP. But I could see maybe if you're deception, no. Infiltration, no.
Lethality.
No, not lethality. That's the
Not
gun
lethality?
spec. Whatever your stabbing spec is.
Oh,
Alacrity?
concealment. Alacrity? Yeah, no, it's
Concealment. I can see them being a little bit upset about losing the ability to drop into cover because I do feel that spec is a little bit squishier. But yeah, definitely healing spec didn't need
Are
that.
PvPers just pissed about this?
I think they're a little sad.
I'm sure they're a little sad, but as of right now, I mean, really, the operative healer is probably the most overpowered class in PvP right now, and this is just, I think this is just a little nick in being able to, in their whole arsenal of abilities. This will make it a little bit less overpowered now. I mean, because originally what would happen lots of times, say with me on my Marauder, is that you would get an operative healer or somebody like that would roll just a couple times and then duck into cover, and I would have to walk to them the whole way. I wouldn't be able to leap to them, and now it cuts that out. Now I can leap to them, and it makes them a little, I can attack them now, which is a good thing.
Anyone who played a Juggernaut or Guardian is going to absolutely love this next change. So you can now get a talent which makes Ravage and Master Strike root your target for the duration.
I feel like that's kind of a needed change.
Needed or unneeded?
I think it's needed.
Yeah, I think this should have been in the game since launch.
That's one of Juggernaut's main damaging attacks, and if you're sitting there going into the Ravage channel, and all of a sudden, your target's running off,
it was kind of
that was a waste.
The core damage of that whole entire ability is just completely wasted if you didn't have some sort of CC.
Yep. Which you don't really, as a Juggernaut, you don't really have a CC that, unless you're an immortal spec Juggernaut, that your force choke doesn't root you as well. But as far as like vengeance spec Juggernauts and rage spec Juggernauts, they're now going to be able to use the Ravage ability and not worry about people running off, which is incredible.
Now, what's going on here? Marauders and Sentinels are being punished less for dipping in and out of combat. What's changed here?
This mostly has to do with the Annihilation Buff. The Annihilation Buff, as of right now, it's on a 15-second cooldown, and it stacks. And the idea behind the Annihilation Buff is that it over time, as you continue to attack a specific boss or a person or whatever, you gain more damage, more DPS. The longer you damage, the more DPS you do. However, what was happening, even in just basic tank and spank sometimes, raid bosses, the boss would move or something along that line, and it would take more than 15 seconds for that boss to move, and so therefore you now have to build up your damage again, and there was all sorts of little tricks and quirks that we as Annihilation Spec Marauders would have to do just to maintain this buff, and it made it unfun, actually, in my opinion, to fight certain bosses.
Finally here, Undying Rage and Guarded by the Force saw significant nerfs. There goes your oh shit ability. Gone. Yeah, pretty much.
It's not completely gone, although I'm not a real big fan of what they did either, because they made it so that your Undying Rage and your Guarded by the Force, what that does is it once you hit the ability, it drops your health in half, and then you have like a 90% reduction on damage coming into you. That so you're basically indestructible at that point. And then now what they've done is they made it to where you drop your health after the ability is done casting. So 4 seconds later, that's when you lose your health. And so now, because what I used to do is I used to be able to jump in. If I was in an emergency situation, I would hit Undying Rage, so I didn't die, and then I would hit my med pack, which would then bump me up some, or hopefully I had a pocket healer or something like that was healing me up. And so now it's just it's going to cause you to have to, at least as far as a healer is concerned, have to pay a little more attention as to when Undying Rage is hit, and it's just I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this change at all. I think it's going to be more detrimental overall to the class.
What happened? What happened here? What happened to Bounty Hunter or Trooper? No changes? Nothing?
Well, they got
awesome
some changes in the last patch for one spec, but so far nothing else. But I think that before everybody freaks out, we should say that they may decide to change and add other things in. Just because they're saying right now this is the only changes that are going in, that could be different when things launch on December 3rd. So let's not put on the tinfoil hat just yet.
Yeah, as Technoskull said.
Nothing yet,
yeah.
But it could be coming.
2.6.
I'm going to cross my claws.
As Technoskull said in chat, that they are looking to redo the resource system for bounty hunters and troopers. So 2.6 for that?
2.6, because she's got to wait. So don't freak out. Pretty much. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so I want to talk about this blog post about the Galactic Starfighter expansion, but first I want to tell you guys about the Shutterstock. Shutterstock.com. I want to save you guys 25% off on your Shutterstock account. All you got to do is go over to Shutterstock.com, make a new account, and you can start searching for vectors, video clips, artwork, illustrations. If you guys have a guild website, a YouTube page, anything like that, Shutterstock is your secret weapon. We use it daily here at Gamebreaker TV. I was looking up some signs and things before today. Let's see what else we got in the light box. Your light boxes are places you can save images and things like that when you're looking at different projects. See, I have some for Gamebreaker Nation. I was looking for different things. EQ Nation, Coltrane's comments, some arrows, even like lights and things like that. I love these icon sections. I kind of just try and save icons for different things that are kind of gamer-esque. So you can see like when we're looking for just little flavor stuff for the website and stuff. Look how great this artwork is. Cool little stylized knights, and I love this guy. He's got a little torch and banners and all this kind of stuff. This is just perfect stuff. And then what's great here, you find a good piece you like and you go down here, look at stuff from the same artist. There's got tons of other great artwork. And if you have a guild website or a YouTube page, like I said, and you're making video game related content, there's just tons of stuff you could be looking for on here, including stock photography, footage. A lot of people didn't go over to the footage page. There's tons of great stuff over here in the footage. If you've got some sort of project you might be working on, a lot of different stuff. I mean, for gaming type of stuff, maybe not as much, but you might need some stock photography, some fly-throughs, things like that. Definitely check out that section as well on the footage side. I use a ton of the vectors, the vector artwork, and the images, like the JPEGs and the illustrations. We use a ton. Almost all the artwork on Gamebreaker, all across all the sites, are taken from Shutterstock. We use it constantly. I want to save you guys 25% off on your account. All you got to do is make sure that when you are ready to purchase, You use the promo code GameBreaker10. You don't even need to use a credit card right now. You can sign up, make a free account, start searching through all the different assets there and making light boxes and saving all that kind of stuff. And then when you're ready, just go on, check out. Make sure you use the offer code GameBreaker10. Going to save you 25% off on your Shutterstock account. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Shutterstock.com. So lead PvP, or no, not lead PvP, lead designer, Michael Backus, released a blog post about the Galactic Starfighter expansion. Nothing crazy new, nothing mind-blowing, I don't think, in there. Anything really big?
No, it's just talking about how they decided to come up with it.
It's more of a higher level overview of why they're going in the direction that they've decided to go in. Here's what they considered when they first sat down to discuss space, though. They said, he says, do you create a massive open world to fly transports around, smuggling goods through enemy lines? Do you create capital ships, some so vast players feel they're on another planet? Do you populate all of that with more quests and voice actors and opportunities for crafting and star destroyers and the Force and more? It was literally a whole new game, possibly larger than what we had already created. Wisely, we took a step back and looked at the broader picture. Can I just say?
That's wait, what we're getting is the broader picture?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I just say that everything in what he says there is what I wanted?
It's awesome.
Now, if they could do that or not is one thing. And obviously they came and said, look, that scope is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But why release this statement to get us all fired up? Because all that
all right. So here's what they could do. This is saying all of this fun stuff that we really, really want and we know people really want. This is going to come in another box expansion, like a real expansion with lots of stuff. Capital shit.
Ever the optimist.
I am. I'm going to be the optimist about that. This is all great things that people have been asking for.
So you think that they put together a list of everything the players really want, and then prior to this expansion coming out, they're telling you what you'll.
Oh well,
they're trying to publicize an expansion though. But Galactic Space Garage is like what they're really trying to sell right now, and that I don't know. I think it's very. I hope you're right.
I'm gonna hold out hope.
I hope you're right because
they have people working on in the background. Because
I'm looking at chat as I read that.
In maybe a year or two down the future, great big box expansion that we all have to buy.
I'm gonna read chat. I would love real expansion. Laura, you need to use that hat on every show forever now. Gary is trying not to laugh.
That's why it's free. Yeah.
I'm just reading it and going oh my God, this is what you're adding fuel to the fire. You're almost creating a bomb because everybody's just going to read that and go yes, 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 and yes. F you, I want this. Yes, that's what I wanted. And you're telling me that you thought about it, and then you be like, this isn't unrealistic, which is fine. I get, of course that's unrealistic, right? This is a whole nother, this is larger than the game. But why are you telling us about this?
Now, what they should have done, really, honestly, is just made a little broader statement saying we had considered multiple other avenues to.
That's all. I agree.
Go, but we had to narrow our scope to this. That's
maybe
it.
Laura's right. Maybe Laura's right. Maybe they're planting the seed already.
Of course, I'm right. And in 2 years, when this is coming out, I'm going to be remember that show where I sat there and I said, this is what they're going to do?
You have a lot of faith in their marketing, department. You're they've got this 2-3 year marketing plan built out. They're on the ball.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm thinking that maybe after I told them to fuck off, that they were sitting here and saying, come on now. So we're going to throw this stuff out there and we're going to make a better game.
They were listening to Laura. That's right.
I don't know. I mean, I know every MMO player out there and probably looking at that list wants everything in there. Who doesn't want guild capital ships? Of course we do. I mean, I don't know. Stuff we've been talking about since launch.
I mean, the first line in that is like, yes, give it to me now! Oh, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
You suck!
All right, moving on. Sad face. BioWare, you know, they always got that face palm quota of worthy decisions. They got to meet that. They got to meet that quota every month of face palms from the internet. They were actually in danger of missing their quota this month, but they were doing pretty well. But here we go again. Raid markers, pretty standard, but pretty useful feature, common in a lot of other games to help groups coordinate. SWTOR has never had them, right? Am I right? Just want to confirm.
Never
had them. No. Which I don't know. Have there been a lot of complaints about that?
I don't think a lot of complaints, but they're in general a really nice quality of life feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To have because it's a great way to say we want these people to stand here and we want these people to stand over here and we're going to tank the boss over there.
Yeah, you had to be really inventive for raids. It was more like
we were dropping those banners, the Republic banners and the Hero banner.
So you made your own system up and everybody had to adhere to it.
Yes.
That's good. I like that. But players can get them now.
Drop lightning.
The good news is everybody can get them in Star Wars: The Old Republic. You can go BioWare. All you have to do is buy them on the cartel market.
But you have to buy lottery packs and hope that you get them in lottery. Now, I will say they actually look really nice. We had somebody in our last raid who had gotten a couple.
And also they're a one-time use. So
yes.
Yeah, that's
one flare and you're out.
Really sad face.
Are they serious? Are they serious?
It's just yeah. I'm
That's like
totally,
beyond facepalm. That's like smash my face against this desk right now.
I just don't get it.
How can they ask people to pay for this? How? And a one-time use?
Well, I saw somebody on the forums that said maybe this is kind of a test. So sort of like the Jawograms.
For something that's going to come out in 2 years? Is this another marketing test?
Maybe in the next cartel pack. So they had the one-use consumable Jawograms, and then in the next pack that comes out, they will create reusable ones. That still is going to be dependent on you actually getting lucky to get them in the lottery pack, but, we may see that. Actually, I would say not even may. Like, it's probably a pretty good chance that if people like them, that we will see that, because Jawograms.
Dude, my cartel market chat bubble thing doesn't really sound all that crazy anymore.
No, I'm with you now. It's totally how they're going to do it, and it's going to be per chat bubble too.
Buy like text messages. How many do you want? How do you want to buy this
That's
month?
right.
Oh, you get 200 chat bubbles like text messages.
And you're going to have a limit on how much you can type in there. So
sure, 140 characters, and you buy a block of 500. I almost have to ask if this is like an oversight. It seems effing ridiculous. It seems crazy.
I really don't know.
You're at a loss for words, Larry. You don't even know what to say. You're like, I don't even know what to say.
This is it. It's like having Ready Check. It's like having Ready Check. You have to buy Ready Check.
You have to unlock it
every time you want to use it
for 2,500 cartel coins.
Exactly. Every time you want to use Ready Check, you have to. It's just one of those things that. This should be given to us.
Maybe some guy in the cartel market team just like completely doesn't understand. Maybe he just doesn't know what markers are. Maybe he thinks they're like a cosmetic thing, like they're cute little flashy things, and maybe this is a mistake. I'm going to chalk this up to a mistake, and they need to change this immediately. They can't keep this.
I really hope that they don't. I really hope this should just be a UI feature that they stick in there. Everybody should get that, just like the raid markers where you can put guns and lightning and targets and shit on people's head.
Yep.
This should go in there for that.
No, they're going to start charging for that too. You get a random roll as to which marker it is that you can put over somebody's head, and
Well, if they charge for that, I'm buying the cock ring so we can stick it on your head.
Laura Williams, follow her on Twitter at VoidMinx, VoidMynx. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Larry Everett, he's lost for words. Follow him on Twitter at Shadow, SHADDOE.
Yep.
I had a little bit more show to talk about, but she just ended it. It's over. There's no other way to just...
No, that's it. We're done.
Perfect way to end the show. Follow me, Gary, again, and follow Gabriel TV. Gabriel TV, join the GBN.
Yes, I joined, so everyone else should join with me.
Yes.
So you can come play with me.
You heard it.
Yep.
You heard it here. Join GBN so you can play with Laura.
Why am I derped out? Wow, look at me. I'm just totally frozen derp.
That's
Didn't
not a
realize
bad
that.
still. There you go. All right.
No idea. Hey. All right. Join the GBN. I don't even know what was your. I was going to use your quote for the GBN, but now I won't. So we'll see you next week.